Nag-record na?
Yes.
Okay, so good day everyone. We are from Group 3 of ACA4 and we're going to do our topic discussion on the report of Group 2, which covers chapter 3, 4, and 5. So the same order as before, that it will be in a alphabetical order. So we're going to start at Amendato, followed by Arenas, Bacasnot, Magsipok, and Magno. So let's start with Amendato.
Good day, everyone. Good day, sir. Sir, I am Hakim, and I will be sharing my thoughts and opinions and my lessons that I have learned from the uh, reporting of the previous group. For chapter 3, assessing the internal environment of the firm, ang akong mga key points nga na-remember ana kay ang value chain analysis, competitive advantage, ingana jud. I think chapter 3 kay ang yung gina-point out kay how important the internal environment of a firm is. Like I think I compare it to like an athlete. Let's say a firm is an athlete ingana, then in order for an athlete to like succeed and prosper, kailangan i-take care niya ang iyang self. And not only to take care, dapat mag-improve pud niya ang iyang self through value creating activities as said sa value chain analysis. These are divided into two parts: primary activities, support activities. Primary activities kay ang physical facing of the product, bali ang creation, ang manufacturing din sa product. And then ang support activities kay kanang ang example bitaw kay kanang mag-invest ka in research, mag-invest ka in expansion, in service, mag-ingana bitaw. So, ang value chain analysis po kay it analyzes or it helps a firm analyze more sa nga sila nga area ga kulang so that mabalan nila sila maka-improve nga na mo ang owner retain nga knowledge sa chapter 3. And then for chapter 4, recognizing a firm's intellectual assets and moving beyond a firm's tangible resources. What I really ang pinaka nag-stay jud sa akong mind kay how important human capital is. Human capital kay imong manpower bitaw, not only the labor but imong mga researchers, imong mga developers, ingana it is a very vital role in every firm bitaw kay silang foundation sa tanan-tanan, like naa sa ilahang knowledge para sa innovation ingana, producing, distributing, and marketing, and all of that stuff. Napod ang social capital, which is ang imong network, imong connections and relationships with other people, pwede pod outside sa imong business, like more business partners and such. And then, maong na retain na lesson sa chapter 4. And then for chapter 5, katong creating and sustaining competitive advantages, I learned ang three types of strategy: the owner cost, differentiation, and focus. Ang owner cost kay ang pinaka-simple na ko na ma-think kay kanang parehas sa gi example sa group 2 katong Payless. Another example kay katong Best Buy bitaw sa mga sa mga paper stationer, katong mga Best Buy mag manufacture sila mga paper materials, mga whole intermediate pad paper ingana at a low price po ingana bitaw. And then ang pinaka nag-retain na lesson sa ako sa chapter 5 kay ang katong four stages bitaw: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline stage. Introduction stage kay ang beginning pa sa imong business, wala pa kay wala pa kay position sa sa market, growing pa ka, then wala pa kayo kay competition. Growth stage kay you're gaining momentum na bitaw. And then maturity stage kay kanang naa na kay mga rivalries, you are known na other people are trying to not only beat you but stop you jud yan. And then ang decline stage kay I think diha ang part nga makaingon ka nga you have dili siguro failed, bro. I think failed to ka ng i-prolong imo ang business. I think ang biggest example ako mauna-unahan is ang Nokia. like before kung di sila phone brand giant then pagka murag niabot na ang ilang decline stage tong nag-rise ng mga touchscreen phones nga na mong more so far ako ang sharing sa topic discussion for today.
Thank you for that, Hakim. So, good afternoon, good evening, sir. I am Ricardo Sanyasa Ranas, and I will be sharing what I have learned in my opinion. So, Chapter 3, Assessing the Internal Environment of the Firm. So, according to the reporting a while ago, internal market portrays a vital role in making the business survives. It helps identify areas for improvement and eliminate inefficient activities, which can speed up the production process. This can also improve your competitive edge over your rivals. So there's a line between the PowerPoint that says internal marketing is essential as external because it's put the people, the engine, and the heart of an entity at the forefront of what you do. And then I remembered what Marie shared yesterday about the importance of mission, vision, and objective. She said that the employees are the lifeblood of your company, which I highly agree with because a company won't work without the help of its employees. So if every company had good internal marketing, the business would boom because everyone would be motivated to work. After all, internal marketing content instills values and empowers individual. Di ba imagine na lang na you're working but your boss don't trust you and your work. Di ba makasad? And then another example Lipod is the company has a terrible work environment. Kadang daghang marites or daghang muchika. Di ba imagine pa lang nimo na pag enter pa nimo sa office nimo tas ang musalibong sa imong kay ang mga marites na you don't want to go to work. Having this kind of internal marketing isn't good because it can affect the company. Obviously, your employees' work ability will decrease. And aside from that, it can also damage the image of the business itself. Like sa Apple sa lang reporting na she was sexually harassed and everyone or hostile of her sa ihang work. It's very likely na everyone will get to hear how the company treats its employees. Kay we couldn't stop a fire from spreading, especially if kusog ang hangin. What about rumors with even the walls and kay ears and daghan tag rival sa business, di ba? Many will know na pangit day mo internal market just based on how you treat your workers. No one will want to work with you if na your rivals will also take advantage of your weakness, and we couldn't help that because it's ordinary sa business world now wherein we have to survive every day. So that's what I have learned in chapter 3. Chapter 4, recognizing the firm's intellectual asset. So, right now, we are in the midst of the information age where innovation relies on knowledge and creativity more than labor and natural resources. This is especially true because most of the consumer now wants unique things in a world na daghan na og demand ang consumer. How could a business satisfy them? So here now he show up in the intellectual capital, all the knowledge, skills, and relationship possessed by the workforce and other stakeholders. In short, intellectual capital is any information that a company can use to create products, gain customers, and increase profit. So if you put it in a real life situation, di ba, financial capital is the total sum of all the money and other instrument that a company owns. So in this case, kay ang intellectual capital, it's the information that makes the business run. So muna atong mga survey unsa atong nag-gather then muna dahil natong i-produce. So, I have learned po na there are three key pieces of intellectual capital. The human capital, which is the foundation of intellectual capital, so it consists of knowledge, skills, and experience possessed by employees. So, di come up na po ako ang given a while ago why employees are important. They are the foundation of intelligent capital. So, second is social capital. So social capital are like relationship inside and outside of the organization. In other words, kay connection. Connection is also an asset because it gives you a bigger stage or more, it can widen your connection which can also help your business. Example ani kay kita mo og business proposal. So di ba in the first episode, the main lead was forced to go on a date sa mga heredera sa company to widen their connection kay di ba there's no better ties than personal relationship. So murag inana siya. Third is knowledge. So this is a thing that supports human capital such as company culture, operating procedures, software, data, policies, training, and intellectual property. We can conclude here that intellectual capital is the real wealth of an organization, even more so than its finances. Kaya di ba ang harama masatisfy ang customer and investors if makaproduce na ta og good output at ang harapod ta na sure na maka-earn og profit if masatisfy nato sila. So that's what I have learned in chapter 4. Chapter 5, business level strategy. Business strategy creates a vision and direction for the whole organization. In here, you cannot sugarcoat your strategy. That's what my mom told me before because it won't work, especially if nala siya sa field. You cannot lie or make it up because it's the way of an organization to pursue its competitive advantage. So in the report, the reporter gives us two generic strategies that a firm can use to overcome the five forces and achieve competitive advantage. The first is overall cost. Second, differentiation. Third is focus strategy. The first is overall cost leadership. In here, the business is using competitive advantage based on low cost. So guys, in there's na pag nako among tindahan. Di ba, on our first meeting, I shared to you na we have a business. So we have a ukay-ukay store here in CDO. And sa among pwesto is very lisod to manage because we have many competitors. Kay according sa tag-iya here kay ukay-ukay capital daw ang amo ang how do you call that? Amo ang place. So ang nakalisod pa kay ang competitors ni mama kay ang co-workers niya sa iyang real work. So same sila og work. So parehas mi og products kay same lo baya ang company na ilang one. So ang view sa amo competitors na strategy is they lower their price. And you know, say sakit kay ingon ana sila na ayaw mo og palit sa ilaha kay mahal ilaha anhi lang sa amo kay barato ra safe pag og product which irks me kay of course malesen among customers at tugid mo palit ang tao sa mas cheaper na price di ba but anyways na survive ng gihapon namo ang gi-share pod ni mama ang reason why she told me na we were able to survive katungod kay mas nauna mi here. Then, di ba, magtuod ba ang mga customers? Nga, mag-give pod si mama og discount. Tapos, another advantage po namo is, ang location naman gabi sa front, then sila nasa back. So, lucky us. Second is differentiation strategy. So differentiation strategy is the approach that businesses uses to attract and keep customers by giving them a unique product or service. Example here again is kami, di ba naami competitors taga low cost, wala mi babot ana. But my mom came up with another strategy that makes them different. And naka-attract po siya og much bigger na customer. Aside from selling pieces, we also sell by volume bundles, which means ga-distribute mi og kanang na gyud sa van. Like, i-load pa siya and then wala pa siya masalikan. Like, nakaputos gyud siya. Maka-attract po niya siya og another customer na ga-sell og ukay-ukay. And usually, kay sa other region na ang customers nila, mama, so gamay ang singog product aside sa iya ha. Another thing, dili mi mahutdan og supply as long as naalan gyud mi money na makapay or para makabay og products. Now, we don't have to wait for months unlike others para maabot ang item. Third is focus strategy. So focus strategy is essentially a core marketing strategy that allows organization to identify the specific needs of a market and develop markets aligned with these needs. This can give a business advantage because you will be able to understand what the consumer wants you because you know who are your customer. It's good because you can produce valuable products na sure na ilagid paliton sa ba. For example, sa Coca-Cola, di ba, before kay Coke lang gid ang sell. Karon kay they leveled up na they created a product called Diet Coke. And their target ay ang mga people who are conscious about their figures or na mga diabetes or some people na they don't like sweets. Di ba, they're not allowed sa mga diabetic, they're not allowed to drink any sweet. Kadi kay it can worsen their situation and it's proven na sweet can make you gain weight. And sadly, we live in a world na you won't be acknowledged if you won't meet the societal standard which is 34, 33, 34. Yeah, good thing na Coke made this kind of product because it actually helps us though. You can really taste the difference. I don't like it. So in business level strategy, I realized that it's very important to have a good strategy because you will be able to tell your strength and weakness. It can also help you lessen your weakness and avoid threats. Having an effective strategy will help you decide where your efforts and resources are best spent. These decisions are crucial in ensuring your business has a profitable and sustainable future. Strugit kay, without a good strategy, your company will likely fail because you don't know the ins and outs of your company. So having a best strategy helps us understand what actually success actually looks like. It's like a roadmap for our business. It shows us our destination and identifies useful stopping points along the way. And di ba kung gabiyahe tayo, we might not be able what's on the way, but we certainly know na we will arrive in the place that we wanted because we have a good strategy. Thank you.
So, I really enjoyed yun, no? Sa katapag inyo ni Morix about the examples yung mag-give and then you used your business. Nga na gin na sa business world, di ba? Kung ano lang gin na siya, pinaka-creative lang gin na siya sa kanang labanan lang gin na siya sa creative strategies sa kanang mahimo nato, di ba? So, for me, I am Mary Joy Bacasnot, and this is my insights. So, for chapter 3, which is to assess the internal environment, for the first chapter, I agree on what the reporter said na kung unsa ka importante ang external environment, inga na pud ka-importante ang internal environment. So one of the effective ways to assess the internal environment of a firm is with the use of a value chain concept. So in which it focuses on crafting key values activities that a firm must effectively manage and integrate in order to attain competitive advantage. So, sakto yun, di ba nga, like, kung how much you prioritize the external environment inga na pod inga or equal ang imong pagka-prioritize sa imong internal environment, what's happening inside your company. So by using this, it helps the firms to identify their areas of improvement while eliminating inefficient activities. So more so na sila duha ka importante na activities, which is ang primary ug ang support activities. And I would really commend ang group 2 for giving such concrete examples and also stating its advantage and disadvantage about these two. Kay for me, mas nasabtan yun ako na siya nga part nga naghatag sila og example. So, when I relate this sa akong personal experience, so one time, my brother has my older brother has really a favorite milk tea shop yun. So I think it's way back 2020 kasagsagan ng pandemic or like 2019 ba to. Basta na siya favorite nga milk tea shop and then ginabalik-balikan yun niya. So tingala mi like after a year or like murag katunga 1.5 year, nawala na sila sa ilang kuan sa ilang lugar. So we think pasig nagbalhin sila kada expand or anything. Pero wala jud. So kami kihalang ano nawala and everything. And then pag like gi-share na ko siya sa akong friends and then my friends shared something and then I be able to conclude bantog di ay nawala sila. So it's one of their factors, daghan to sila factors, but I'm just going to focus on the internal environment. One of the factors daw is that they did not improve at all. Di ba pagkuan ka ng pinakauna, of course, ka ng bongga gita ka ng unsa na to paghikayat sa customer para makapalit, inga na. Pero ang problem is that they stayed at that mo nag-stay na sila dana nga strategy. So dili man gyud na pwede, di ba? Kay mo evolve man gyud ang kuan ka na mo as time pass by daghan man gyud mga changes and you have to adapt on the change because the only constant in this world is change. So wala nila gi-change and then nana din hantod sa ni emerge na dayon ang mga bag-o nga mga milk tea shop and then of course daghan ba sad gyud na mga pakulo. So example for that is that like pila ka months after lang na ini-open nga milk tea shop and then ang naka-intriga yun sa ilha is that buy one take one yun mo nang example na ako before. It's because nakakita yun may milk tea shop or like ni-open sila nga buy one take one yun, so di pa like advantage sa customer kay as Filipino as we are mangita man gyud tag kanang like makanamro tawag win situation sa atoa nga kuan kanang mora ang presyo gibayaran pero duha ka mo nakuha, di ba? We always wanted that. So sa ilaha man jud nga part of ilang marketing strategy, they stayed the same, like the usual one yung magbaligya lang niya and everything niya. Wala man like kanang murag mag-sale sila tungod kay ingani nga event, let's say February, Valentine's Day, wala. So like nakayon pud ko nga abantog di ay kay of course customers would always look for what's best kung aha jud ang kanang more bitog dira sila mas maka gain or dira sila mas gamay ang ilang mabayaran or mas daghan ang ilang makuha with the same price. So and the next thing also is their service kay I've noticed nga like pila daw ka months and nag-change sila og like ang crew, and then ang worst part is that ang crew nga na change is kanang dili customer friendly, and I think that's ang isa sa major sayo kay of course as ka na mamaligay kailangan gid mo ka nga kana customer friendly ka, you're going to accommodate kung say gusto sa mo customer like what ano sa mo gusto mami na kanang there the one time sa kong friend nga na palit siya, and then like nag-cellphone na ra daw tapos dugay do kayo siya dugay do kayo siya gi-entertain, and then murag wala lang gid bitaw like pag entertain like unsay imo na like wala lang jud siya like emotions or anything nga kada bitong makapahikayat nga murag good day sir ganun si imo nana bitaw, so wala, so like of course as a customer ikaw although you love the product kuan ka nang of course ka nang mo kuan pud biya ka nga kana unsa man ni siya uy nga kana nga ni man siya mo trato sa ako murag lain man, so kanang of course kanang customers will look at that factor, and then kung dili gid sila ganahan dili man sad gyud mo mapugos ang customers. So I think that's two of the reasons nga involves sa tong topic today, which is the service of the company and also their marketing strategy that is included in the internal environment nga reason nga no why nag-close gud sila and then nigamay gid ang ilahang like profit. So that's what I could give an example sa chapter 3 rather. So let's proceed to chapter 4. We have intellectual assets. So intellectual assets are indeed more difficult to identify the physical asset. So that's why there is an existence of intellectual property right to obtain protection and at the same time advantage. Kaya kung i-compare man dyan nato ang intellectual asset to physical asset, di ba mas unusual? Di ba mas pag i-compare mo siya mo ang mga tao kay natin intellectual asset, natin na siya nga kuanday, natin na siya type of asset di ay kanang kung i-compare mo siya sa physical asset kay makita man gyud nato di ba like yung nga iyahagin asset gyud niya kay naagid siya kanang let's say furniture equipment, so iyahagin ng asset, so like makita sa tao bito, pero usually people don't know nga naa din nag-exist ang intellectual asset, and most of the time ang mga like kanang mag-start pa lang og business they don't know that, so they don't know how to take advantage of that, and at the same time they don't know how to create strategy nga kuan kana betong like there will always a time nga kanang ang intellectual asset will become a threat, so they don't know how to cope up with it. So for those people nga kabalog yun unsang intellectual asset, they be able to take advantage of it, and at the same time they be able to create strategies nga kanang dili sila ay kanang ma-prevent nila ang kanang threat, a certain threat coming from the intellectual asset. So for those who are for those who are knowledgeable again in the business world, they could easily take advantage of it. So one example, I really like the example of Rika on this, but the example also nga akong ma-apply is that there's one time nga like nagchika ang ako my tita works at her company like for almost 25 years I think, and then I also have a brother that who works at this company I think 2 years or 3 years. So like they've kanang nag-stress lang chika lang bitaw sila like about sa unsay mga nakitabo sa company sa kong tita at same time company sa kong brother. So natin niabot din sila sa point nga kanang nagstorya sila about kanang webinars and trainings. So my brother said niya bihira na daw kaayo na sila magkuan conduct og seminars o webinars kay mahal daw kanang dako daw ang cost nga ma-incur sa company unya mura daw kanang murag instead niya kanang makapa-boost murag ni gamay bitaw ang profit sa company tungod kay mag-conduct og seminars. So may tita suddenly said na dapat like ginatagaan dapat jud og importance ang mga inganang activities kay based on her experience daw conducting like mga webinars, seminars or trainings sa imong employees, you could really gain benefit from that naman kay yes naggasto ka pero at the same time your employees their skills, their talents kanang ni-improve, so they will also be able to contribute more and effectively to the company. So unsaon daw paglago pag-ayo na sa company kung ang employees daw mismo are not enhanced or like wala na develop ilang skills or talent kay di ba ko i-compare nimo di ba mas efficient siya nga way nga kanang i-improve nimo imong mga current employees rather than kanang palitan ninyo siya sa mas efficient nga employee, di ba kanang mas musalig man gid ka sa katong nagtrabaho na nga dugay ra na ilhan gid mo nga dugay na kaysa kanang like nag imo lang siyang gipahawa and then magkuha kag mas kuan gyud mas maayo sa iya. There are cases also nga basin pod ka na siya bad records or something kada gid siya palitan, pero kung wala and then ang kailangan nila is improvement, so why not nga enhance na lang kaysa sa kanang pulihan gid sila kay actually daw ingon gid sa kontita is mas gasto daw magkuha na sa balik og new employee kaysa kanang magpa-develop ka sa like i-develop nimo ang isa kay pag magbago kag employee magkuan na sad ka, di ba, like kailangan pa sa nimo sila inform about certain things, balik na sad ka back to square one. So like di ba mas kapoy siya, mas hassle siya sa part sa company. So that's what muna ang ako example nga kung mamahatag sa intellectual asset, it's because in intellectual asset it also includes kanang what do you call this, the human capital bit on how are you going to improve your employees, because kanang at the end of the day mas dako kag salig sa iya, at the same time they also improve, so it's like a win-win situation na pod. So lastly, then we have chapter 5, business level strategy. So in order to create and sustain a competitive advantage, companies need to stay focused on their customers' evolving wants and needs and not sacrifice their strategic position as they mature. Just like what giingon niya, just like what giingon ni Rika kaganina nga. I also shared that before sa amuang I think quiz nga discussion nga. Employees are indeed the lifeblood of the company. So pag ingan na pud ta ka kuan nga maghatag importance sa employees, it's the same thing nga maghatag tag importance sa customer, kay of course because your customer will also the number of customer nga nagpalit sa inyong product will also determine kung pila ang imuhang profit, di ba? So you will also take note kung unsa gid ilang gusto, kung kuan ka nang unsa na ilang gusto karon, unsa na sad ang ilang dili gusto pagka like unsa sad ilang dili gusto karon. So like what the reporter's example, which is Palmolive and Sunsilk, they are both in the same industry or business which focuses about hair care. So since parehas sila product, of course you have to create something that could make them different from each other. Kailangan man po, di ba, like unsay purpose ganun magkanang kung unsay naa sa Palmolive po nasa Sunsilk. So like ang customer po na kay ay wala uniqueness. So ay dili ta daning duha ka parehas ra, so mangita tag like mas maka benefit pa gyud ta nga na biya. We always looking for kanang something unique sa product para mapalit nato. So Palmolive, so what Palmolive do is they cut down their cost, while Sunsilk also boosts their brand identification by hiring hair care experts as their endorser. Di ba makabantay ka sa Palmolive kay they cut down their cost. So like na sila gibuhat ya kanang ang ilang expenses is mubaba so that their profit will increase. However sa Sunsilk na part they boost more their brand identification by hiring hair care experts. So ang ako lang ganahan nga example gid aside sa Palmolive is example ni Rika. So katong about sa ilahang ukay-ukay. So di ba kanang sa ukay-ukayan daghan jud competitors kunya depende na lang jud na siya sa like giunsa sa like seller pag create og strategy para sa ilaha mo padulog. Of course ukay-ukayan biya mo then parehas ra mo og products ang ginabaligya. So what makes you different from the others nga para mas mo sustain mo sa industry, because again sa industry it is hard to enter but it is much more harder to sustain it. So that's my insights for chapter 3, 4 and 5.
Good day, everyone. I am Anne-Sophia V. Magsipok, and I will also share my insights. So, ni-agree jud ko nga na ang isa ka product dili jud siya maka-win og heart diretso sa consumers, maka-affect pud ang kanang mga customer services and also unsaon nila pag-manage or pag-accommodate ang ilahang customer. For the chapter 3 highlighted the importance of value chain analysis. Dito jud na center ang ako ang mind, since murag impactful jud kayo siya for the whole setting sa isa ka business. Value chain analysis in a organization's strategic management. It helps a company para ma-view ang sequential processes para sa value creating nilang activities. And this kind of approach is seen to be really useful jud para ma-understand nato kung unsa ang advantages sa atong business in terms sa atong competitive edges. So having great products won't really win the heart of consumers when your customer service says otherwise. So we as consumers, we usually go for products nga low cost, pero na siya quality. Pero maano pud nato nga since daghan jud here and say sa business, since grabe biya jud ka tight, like kung daghan sila daghay kita imuhang competitor murag ma-threaten ka nga hala dapat pud sa ako kay napud ko'y buhaton para moanhi pud ang ako ang moanhi pud ang mga tao mopalit pud sa ako. So naiuban nga nagadu og dirty work nga murag ilang ginasiraan inana pero lahi ra man jud if ang words kay kuan bitaw murag kanang mas nilamang jud imong actions nga mas maayo jud imong ginabuhat. So back in the days like sa senior high school me, we have a group project wherein kailangan mi mag-market of products or services within the university. And kana pud siya nga time kay kung unsa kung pila ka units ang amuang ma-sold kay mo'y murag mo reflects among grades. So syempre makulbaan jud ka kay kung gamay ra ang inyuhang sales, meaning gamay ra pud inyong grade even though dako inyong effort or unsa ba. So kailangan pud mo mag-invest sa inyuhang employees or ang katong inyuhang human power. Since employees are considered to be power blocks, we invest ilang skills, ilang knowledge and efforts para ma-ensure jud nga ang inyuhang business kay na jud sa right path, sakto jud ma-achieve jud inyong goals o inyuhang mga plans nga gikuan you set. And also, for the part of the seller, syempre, we are to consider and to look into our products or offerings na ma-recognize yun namo nga na dili na bitaw necessary na will go overboard sa spendings para lang ma-innovate o malamangan ng mga uban, but rather look into the quality of the product itself and also ginaunsa na mo pag-accommodate ang katong customers or consumers na possible mapalit sa amo. And with this, makuan jud na ako ang important sa process nga gina-undergo when in terms of creating or crafting ang inyong offerings. Since dili man siya instant nga if na may plan mo adto na jud siya, masame na jud siya o masame na jud siya sa inyong perceive since naman joy mga hindrances and mga hurdles nga dili jud mahimo nga possible nga madiretso na og come up katong nga plans. In the making of these products or services, it is essential to weigh the worth, impact sa imuhang employees, and also kung feasible ba ang katong inyuhang giplano. Since naiuban nga, parang sa ilari kakintabing nga daghan sila competitors, they also need to find ways para maka-stand out sila. Tapos kanang makuan jud nga unique jud sila. And since ang amuang na-think ato na product is common siya since food man and daghan kay competitor basta food labi na kay mag-fluctuate biya jud na ang kanang mga wants o kanang mga taste sa tao if unsa jud yung ganahan na uban nga dili ginag sweets na uban nga ganahan og parat or unsa ba so dili jud mo maingon nga kanira jud murag feeling na ako kay dako ta og kuan ani ka ng customer base since sikat ni siya nga food inana dili ra nimo siya madali og perceive but rather imo jud siyang i-discern if unsaon jud nimo pag position ang imong business ana nga customer base. And also, since there are huge chances na the situation will worse or mas mo gain ba ka og customer, it is also essential na ang katong imuhang mga employees or ang inyuhang customer services naga-innovate ay naga-improve sab siya. Dili lang kay since feeling niyo kay dako na mo og kuan, dako na mo og customer base, murag inyo na bitong ibaliwala since murag feeling ninyo nga ni boom na inyong business or unsa ba. And this can also be applied sa kung experience sa una which is sa town namo na ay murag pizzahan siya nga sikat siya since siya ang first ata nga murag pizza store nga na kuan sa among town. Pero as years pass by, murag nag-deteriorate na bitaw ilang kuan, ilang customer service. And even though lami jud ilang pizza, murag nagaduha-duha gyapon ang tao nga ay murag lain naman siguro dito kay basin dili na ta pansinon bitaw murag dugay kayo ilang customer service. Then pagkadugayon adto since wala na jud kayo tao nagakuan tungod kay ang reklamo jud permanente kay ang customer service, wala na joy choice ang katong nga business but mag-close sila. So dako jud kayo ang impact sa ato ang mga human resource ng capital. And for the chapter 4 sa assessing the importance of intellectual assets, na-realize na ko on how important knowledge is. Like, dili arabiya nga ang assets, like, giingan ni Mary nga physical assets ka na makita jud dato. Lahi ra jud, basta ka nang, nara jud sa ato ang self. Like, sa pag-research, sa pag-innovate, sa pag-market, yung strategy, lahi ra jud basta na inyuha nga distinct jud siya sa lain. Intellectual properties are essential for a business to capitalize and also prevent unfair replications and competition from residing firms in the same industry. Intellectual property are the ones that we legally own and are protected by nature, that we are the only one who has the authority para mag-distribute and also mag-make profit from it. With this kind of control, we have the power para ma-take down ang activities o ang mga lahi nga na-distribute nga same sa imuha nga mga ideas. Pwede nimo i-innovate nimo para mas masurpass pa jud ang katuang existing ones. Assets are also a common factor that give us sales. Lahi ra ang physical ug ang kanang ato jud nga intellectual. Pero both matters kay tungod nila naga-drive of sales, and also the great source of for almost everything that is really precious and vital for a business. So if we consider in a magazine company, like my cousin, she works on a like anang commercial journalist bitaw na naga-write. Then ang iyahang consider nga asset would be ang iyahang skills. Pero if kana nga iyahang mga ideas or unsa ba illegally distributed, she has the power kung naa siya kanang rights for the copyright or unsa mga trademarks. Pero na may uban tao nga walay power ana, so they are also hesitant to share their ideas kay basin mao hinoy makadig og kanang ang downfalls ilang company, since it can be easily replicated and kanang dili ra kayo dali ma-revive bitaw nila ang kato nga spread sa ilang mga ideas. And also, I agree nga sa kanang there are also companies or hesitant na mag-invest sa ilang mga employees, like for trainings, for webinars, para mas mapa-improve ang katong mga skills sila ang kay na may uban jud nga if work-based jud sila, wala na sila knowledge kaayo sa lahi nga departments, since nag-focus jud sila ato nga departments. So kung kintabi manufacturing nga company, nag-focus siya sa sewing, ang isa kay sa marketing, mer wala kayo siya hanaw bitaw or idea sa unsa ang nahitabo sa other nga departments. And I also believe na mas lisod jud if mag-recruit pa ka of other employees kaysa mag-train ka. Since kung mag-recruit ka, it will take a lot of time, a lot of processes to restructure, tapos magbalik pa jud ka sa basics, may na instead, kung mag-training ka, na sila common ground for that work, and also, maka-impart po sila sa ilahang na-learn throughout sa ilang experience, and mas dali na noon sa ilang adapt. And for that one, syempre, if people have the fears of kanang low-cost products and low cost for the capital, syempre, magkuan jud ka nga maka-think jud ka nga it would be better nga dili na nimo i-restructure magbag-o pa ka og kanang or hierarchy sa mga mga tao sa imong company, since it will be hard for you to manage tapos new na noon ang yang working environment. And for this, makonsider jud nimo nga greatest asset jud ang mga tao sa isa ka company, since sila jud ang mag-help to make the company nga mo prosper over the years, even though nag-evolve na ang ilang board of directors or head. Basta kay ang katong imuhang mga mga employees kay loyal gyapon and hardworking, consider gyapon nimo nga mak-operate gyapon ang company after years and after years. For the chapter 5 naman, it emphasized the ways and how to sustain and achieve competitive advantage. It introduced the importance of implementing the three generic strategies, atong like cost leadership, differentiation, and the directing of priority. So sa pag-create ni mag-business, all of these strategies will always be significant as these qualities maujud ang kanang basis nimo nganong ang business creation nimo kay impactful and also dili siya dali nga mo mo gani kanang mo fail. And also, mo pud ang reasons nganong dali ra ka maka-compete and also attract other people. Bahalag lahi siya nga industry murag makakita jud lang nga hala murag ni stand out jud sila ani kay lahi ra jud ang ilahang offerings or unsa ba lahi ra pud ang ilahang kanang face of the employees kay nindot jud kayo accommodating and also naga-work jud sila og hard. And for the other part of the chapter 5, I also got some insights and points for the life cycle of an industry. This made me realize nga somewhat ma-relate na to siya sa life. Like, kung sa life cycle, may introduction, may growth, maturity, also the peak or decline. As kanang sa life po nato, real life situations, ma-apply po nato siya. Like for us students, how we are always bound to choose what is meant and planned talaga sa atoa, even though there are hindrances along the way. So same sa life cycle sa industry, na ay intro, na ay growth, maturity, peak or declination. Our lives are also like this. Sa introduction, dinha diya mag-start jud ang pag-craft sa atong dreams for short term and long term. Dinha to gina-envision if unsa jud ka ang possible future sa atong company or sa atong business. Then sa growth, we juggle, we grind, we strive to make things work and be aligned to our plans so we can go on. Then sa after sa growth, we either gain new insights, people, connections, or it can be na we lose some throughout the way. However, inana man jud mag-work ang life in an industry, it is really unpredictable and these situations are inevitable. However, we also need to acknowledge and be mature. We will However, we also need to acknowledge that my apologies. So we also need to acknowledge that it since it is unpredictable, kailangan nato move forward gyapon amid the difficulties na atong na-face finding our way out. So for the last stage, it is the peak or the decline. We are yet again offered with choices kung mustay ba ta ka na ang situation, exit ba ta, or masipa-advance or i-try og lift nato para makasurvive pa ang atong company sa industry. It's like going in circles, pero halfway, not a realization or challenge in which ang response adto kay makadetermine whether a person or a business will be able to stay in its path ba or ma-redirect siya onto another. So I have a situation I can relate a situation ani for like sa K-pop world bitaw. Like there's a company na who started small pero karon meron na silang empire. And through that working its way kanang pagka-peak sa peak nila, it can be na mag-continue sila as a small company or mo-choose sila na mas mo-upgrade sila, mag-publicize sila, and maghimo na lang sila og ilang own label na mukaon pod og lahi companies from other na companies per the same industry lang who is centered in music and arts. So like for that one, there will always be turning points sa life na dili jud nato siya makita. Pero if nana siya sa atoa, aton choices for that one will also determine kung unsaon nato siya pag deal mao pod ang iyang consequences. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.
So thank you, Anne. And really feel your struggles about katong imong senior high experience ninyo, which is katong entrepreneurship. I think na mag-sell o mag-create ka sa inyong product. So auto sa imo is based on sales imong score, which is grabe good kakuan. Ang sa amo nga part is more on a target profit namo. So naka-remember ko na nga para mo reach lang ang among target profit is kami each member is kailangan nagpalit mi sa among products o gi-promote gyud namo ni siya sa among kuan igsuon and mama nga kuan lagi papalit kay para gyud nga mo reach gyud ang among target markets, especially na kato nga part is online selling na dili bitaw paya sa face to face class na sa kung face to face classes manggud ta is natay booth then ang mga students is siya na mo moduol sa ato, whereas kung online classes manggud kay lisod kaayo mangita og mga imong mga customers kay imong rang masaligan is imong mga friends sa Facebook and such. So tas ka-related ko sa imong giingon adto nga part now. So para sa akong chapter 3, it tackles about internal marketing and analysis. So this will help you know what are the advantages and disadvantages of your company so that you can survive in the long run. So akong example ani is ang competition between sa SM o Gaisano sa Cagayan. So akong nabalaan, we know that SM ang ilang gi-offer of course is high quality products while Gaisano is known for their low prices. Now for Gaisano, even ang ilang advantage is na mas naa sila dugay dira sa Cagayan, mas na-establish nila ang ilang kwan, whereas for SM is even to nga bag-o pa sila pero well known naman gud na siya na brand reputation across the Philippines. Anak sa Gaisano nga ang ilag yung more on focus is sa Mindanao lang. Now, if we compare the sales between the two, I think si Gaisano is mas dako siya since most people, especially the white collar wage and mga we still have so many urban areas there is sa Cagayan which is Payasamo, there is Initaw. And mas mo prefer gid mi sa Gaisano because of this low price and makapaglit pad mig mga binandol. And for me, I considered Gaisano as one of the trademark in Cagayan because more siya tourist spot para sa amo kay katong bata pa mi is like if we moingon ang ginikanan sa amo na mulaag mig Cagayan automatic na apil na ang Gaisano dira sa among laaganan. Then for profit naman, I think si SM mo'y mag-lead ana because not only for their high prices but also duha ka buok iyang buildings which is the uptown and the downtown. So sugod nga nag-build ang SM sa downtown makaingon gyud ta nga ang mga people is nag-switch sa pag-buy dito kay ang ilang pong location is very kanang nice kay duol ra siya sa Ayala, Gaisano, Limkit kay so wala ka di ka makaingon nga na sila disadvantage when it comes to that. And ang one thing sad is ang ilang parking space. So unlike kay Sano nga ang ilang parking space is sa basement and katong sa gawas sa ilaw ang SM ang good is every floor na ana siya. So so kuan mas dako siya og space og mas syada po siya kay di na kailangan mo baba sa basement or sa ground floor para lang mo agto sa sakyanan. So, kanto lang akong maingon sa chapter 3. Then for chapter 4 is ang intellectual asset. So this is very helpful in every company because this will be a serve for your edge on your business. Like for example, katong gi-share ni Sir agtong last meeting which is about sa Jollibee nga ang ilang intellectual asset is the recipe for their dishes. So dugay ra ko naghuna-huna nga why despite nga sa kadagan sa chefs nga na nganong wala gyud restaurant nga pareha gyud og taste sa flavors ilang Chicken Joy. So usasag ko sa people nga nagtry og luto like katong mga post sa Facebook nga recipe about Chicken Joy nagtry pud ko agto pero pag tilaw na ako lahi ra gyud siya if we compare it nalay pagka pareha pero nalagyo difference agto niya. So I understand now that this is because Jollibee kay gi-pre-made na nila ang recipes ug ilan ang gi-mix recipe before delivering it to every branches. So na-realize na ako diri nga si Jollibee and other fast food chains are really careful in preserving their own recipes because this can be served as a threat for your competitors because kung wala kay competitive edge murag naa kay disadvantage sa imong mga competitors nga lain. So, dili lang ni mag-apply sa fast food, apel po ni sa every business like technologies nga kailangan sila mag-compete good sa ilang innovations o also for other restaurants because sa ilang mga kitchen processes kung saan na nila. So, it is important really to keep in mind your intellectual analysis so that this wouldn't pose a threat in your business. Now for chapter 5. So, this is creating and sustaining competitive advantage by determining what is the most effective strategy to use. So like parehas ang example sa chapter 3 sa Gaisano o sa SM. So sa Gaisano, naggamit sila of course sa low cost, whereas si SM is more on the differentiation strategies sila. So another example ani is the Avon, where ang ilang gigamit is a differentiation focus strategy. So at the start, ang ilang target market is women. Labi na ka nang nara sa balay because remember nga na ay mga brochures and magazine na sila nga ipanghatag nga mag-flip lang kag pages if unsa imong ganahan adto de order lang din ka para adto. So naka-experience ko nga maka-order pud ani because sa high school nakoy ante na murag dealer siya sa Avon. So para sa ako convenient kay to siya na part because tungod kay dagan kay sila variety of products, ilang product line is wide kaayo like clothing, sandals o kuan mga even kitchenware din. Dili lang pag yun pang babae na sa pang lalaki o sa bata. So makaingay ko nga ilang product line is very wide, so dagan kay ka pwede ma-choose din. Convenience siya in a sense na di na ko kailangan maglakaw and mag-search og unsay mga tsada nga product. So kay diri manggod sa amo is wala kay mga high quality clothing. Pero because of the emergence sa online shopping, si Avon di na kay uso ang mga brochures ug magazines. So si Avon, ang ilang gibuhat is mas magna-focus anoon sila more on promoting their products in social media and advertising famous celebrities like Heart Evangelista. So for you, kailangan yun kag advantage para ani. So ang imong product is mo stay in line pagyapon siya na dili siya mo baba. And that is all with for my learnings. Thank you.
So thank you so much everyone sa atong mga insights no pagpaka na to atong mga kaugalingon kay it's indeed a fruitful na sad nga atong mga discussions. So that's it. That's the end of our short this is short actually kit medyo taas-taas na siya pero like insa I can sharing because I hope that everyone learns a thing or two from the other persons as well. So once again, thank you so much everyone and have a good day.